Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. You may be in the middle of watching, what is it, the Oscars? I don't even know. I feel like it's been a super, super long weekend. And we wanted to get started on this Sunday because there's a super big part of Younique that many of you don't know about. And some very startling statistics about our kids. And, you know, something that we really just wanted to bring attention to. So please share if you find this valuable and would like others to know about this as well. But we wanted to talk a little bit about what No More Week is all about. It's a national recognized week dedicated to both the domestic abuse victims and sexual abuse victims. And, you know, the history behind it is essentially to really educate and empower people. It's kind of like the more you know thing.
The more you know.
And, you know, the cool part is it goes along with Younique Foundation because that's really why it was started. So the Younique company was really kind of a flip around. They wanted to start this mission, right? And they wanted to have something to fund that mission. And that's really where the Younique company came from.
This is the right one, right?
Yes. And so, you know, as one of the founders was a victim of sexual abuse as a child, it was very, very important for them to find, you know, something that they can create to not only educate parents and educators, but also to provide a retreat, a haven, a safe place for people that have been through that traumatic experience to really find healing. And one of the really cool things that they do at this retreat center is kind of put you through a process. And so part of what the funds that they raise through a couple things I'll share about is to help send these women free to this retreat center. You know, they show up there and they're like completely broken and feeling helpless and, you know, all these things, and they put them through this retreat. So one of the things that they do is what is called kintsugi. And all it is breaking of a ceramic bowl, and then they glue it back together with a gold lacquer. So it kind of goes through this process of like broken to beauty. It's just really, really tremendous thing that they do, and it's just really cool. But the reason that it's really scary is because it happens so frequently. So one of the reasons that I wanted to get on here, and please share this with anyone that you know that has kids, especially girls, it's huge. We focus on educating. So the No More Week is focused on those survivors, but Younique has their own mission, and that's No More 1 in 4. The 1 in 4 is one of the scariest statistics. So Malia, my 10-year-old daughter, and 3 of her friends, okay, out of those 4 people, 1 of them will experience sexual abuse as a child before they turn the age of 18. 1 out of every 4. That's 25%. And I can't even like wrap my head around it. But here's some other really scary statistics. 60% of them will never talk about it. 60% of those people will never talk about it. And 90% know their abusers. 90! That's crazy. Like almost everyone knows who their abuser is. Okay? What does that mean? That means that they're among us. The situations that they can get into are right here. They're right here. They're, you know, at a friend's sleepover. They're, you know, when you're entrusting your child with, you know, some sort of provider of care, you know, whether it be a babysitter or a family friend, those types of things. And it's not meant to, you know, create guilt or fear about anything. But the biggest thing is making sure that you are aware and that you are taking the proper steps to defend their innocence, okay? It is our job as parents, as educators, as whoever it is, to make sure that we keep our kids safe and that we keep them educated, okay? That's not just teaching them the numbers, the math, the whatever. It's making sure that they look for warning signs. They know, what kind of manipulation like people use. The abusers often are someone they know and they're like, making them feel guilty about it and, really hitting hard some emotions that they're not really prepared to handle with. So I wanted to share one site during this whole week. So their hashtag is going to be Louder Together. And what that means is the more people that know about all of this and the more people that we tell, the more awareness there is, which really reduces the impact of all of these things. Where'd it go? Now you just lost. So I wanted to share a couple of tips and tricks about what we can do. One of them, going to www.defendinnocence.org, and there's a parent tools section, okay? So the education is really huge in this whole aspect of things. It talks about, making sure you talk to your children. So what are the risks? Where are potential issues or hazards? Making sure that they know that they can call you, So we've had conversations about going to sleepovers.
Just like if something happens, you can call me. Or like one time I was like at a party and like nothing bad was happening. I just wanted to go home.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to go home. Nothing absurd was happening. I just wanted to go home.
Yeah. And any time that you are feeling uncomfortable, like go with your intuition. That's probably right. A lot of times, like, I was telling Millie I had a horrible dream about being, it was kind of like an Airbnb situation, and we showed up and it didn't look the same as the pictures. And he was like, yeah, come down here, like to this basement looking thing. And I'm like, no, this isn't right, And it's those instincts that we have to listen to. And, if you feel uncomfortable, like just get out. You don't have to have an explanation. She doesn't have to have a reason to say, hey, I don't feel good, or whatever it may be, and get out of the situation. But one of the other tips and tricks that we can do is, one, information. Making sure our kids know what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. And even if there's something that they think may be inappropriate, like let's talk about that. And make sure that we have like an open dialogue with them about what's appropriate and what's not. Even with sleepovers, like we don't do a lot of sleepovers, with outside of like, really close family or close friends, just, out of a personal choice, Supervising technology. That's another huge one. One that Mission 21 is working heavily on, because there's trafficking like right in our area, like right in our backyard. These girls are being lured by these people that want to give them attention, right? Part of these tips are, making sure that your children feel loved and that they feel, they know what, proper affection is. But supervising technology, so who they're talking to, that they're not giving away public information, like, where they're at or where they live, things like that, and knowing what kind of conversations are appropriate or not. People don't typically message random people, right? So if you're getting messages from some random person, even if they're like, oh my gosh, your Instagram profile is so cute, okay? You don't know them, so don't talk to them. This no stranger thing, like, still applies online. I don't know why.
Another thing
we forget it.
Is weird is, like, I have my Instagram and my Musical.ly, and, like, Snapchat's already private, so. But if I see someone that's like, oh, this person wants to follow you, I'm like, I don't know you. How did you find my profile? I'm going to delete you because I don't know you.
True that. True that. Some other concerns... factors, I should say. That's what it is. If they're insecure or lonely, like that's who they prey on. Whether it be online, somebody that's really insecure about themselves, or someone that's walking alone outside. I mean, it's the same thing. They look for, weak. Like, it's an animal instinct, They look for the people that they can prey on and feel like they can overcome. Being exposed to explicit media, making sure you know what your kids have access to, whether it be on YouTube or their movies or whatever, like use those parental locks. Like there's no reason that they need to be getting into that kind of thing. And lastly, you know, supervision time, you know, with your kids. Now, again, I'm not saying to not trust anyone, but be aware of like how much time that they have with people, you know, and especially maybe situations that you don't know, say like, you know, someone has friends over or they have an older brother or, you know, some of those other factors that really should be part of that decision whenever you choose to make it. But, you know, doing some more research about where they're going, who they're going to be with, you know, if they're staying over at a friend's house, do they have, you know, other siblings? Is there, you know, access to things? Are the parents, you know, gone? That sort of thing. You want to make sure that you're really researching where they're going, what they're doing. Another great tip would be setting clear boundaries and safe boundaries. You know, a lot of times we'll have conversations that are like, well, you never let me do this, or you never let me do this. You know, and a lot of times, like, there's good reasonings why. And, you know, I feel completely comfortable sharing that, you know, because I don't trust people or because this could happen. You know, if that's the reasoning, that's the reality. You know, I don't know why you know, parents get into a habit of like trying to shield their children from, you know, like, oh, I don't want to scare them. Well, they should be a little scared, you know? It'd be like telling your kids it's okay to jump off a cliff. You're like, you should be a little scared that you might fall and, you know, hit something at the bottom, you know? Fear keeps us from doing things, okay? And while that can be a negative thing on certain things, it's also what protects us. And it's okay for them to be a little bit scared about, you know, hey, I'm alone with this other person, or, you know, something doesn't seem right. Like, why would I have to go hang out downstairs with, you know, her brother? Like, that's not something that seems like a good idea, or seems like something that should be happening. So you can always call it out on that. Like I said, always, you know, we always say play the sick card. So, you know, I don't really feel good. You know, just get out of that situation, whatever it is. So really, in all, like this whole week, I kind of want to share some different things about the Younique Foundation and what the Defend Innocence program does, just to help, you know, educate people. Anyone that makes a purchase from me as makeup can always round up. So at the end, when you check out, there is a round up button. So you round up to the nearest dollar, or you could do $5. But every time that you do that, that money goes straight to the foundation, and that's what helps fund the retreats that these women go on. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but anybody that is purchasing from me, I would challenge you to do the roundup. Go to the next dollar. It's usually, you know, 75 cents, 50 cents, or whatever it may be. I mean, it's less than $1, but those dollars add up tremendously from all of the purchases that are made. So anyone that does that and rounds up, you will get a special gift from me as a thank you for helping support the foundation, as well as me as a Younique presenter. So I hope some of these tips and stats were enlightening and educational. Like I said, if you are a parent or an educator, please go to defendinnocence.org. I will put it in the comments below so you can check that out. But they have some great resources, some guides to help you talk to your kids, and make sure that, you know, they do feel equipped and that you feel like they're educated. And, you know, we can slowly decrease this 1 in 4 before they're 18. You know, it's crazy and it's mind-blowing and it's scary. So I would hope that you guys would check it out. Please share this video with anyone that you know that has kids that may not know about some of these statistics, or that there's access to materials to kind of help engage their kids and walk them through a conversation that, you know, might be very difficult, but might be the difference between having this happen to their child or not. So I thank you guys so much for helping support us and for sharing the videos and things like that to really help spread the reach and reduce our 1 in 4. So here we go, hashtag no more week. Let's get this out there and help stop the stuff from happening. Good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye, guys.